Lumen destroyed this town.
We know the show is filled with symbols, mysteries, and metaphors. What was the biggest secret about Cobel, you think? And in what scene would you say that was revealed to the audience?
Well, I think that the whole Sweet Vitriol episode, you really go deep into Cobel's backstory, like her emotional rawness. Like you get as close to the bone as you've ever gotten with who she is and her formative years. It's like, you get to meet her aunt, who, even though they have this difficult relationship, you could see where she got her love of Kier.
Mr. Egan saw Kier in you.
Her affectation, this strange way of talking, this judgmentalness about people and how people should be towards Kier and towards Lumen, and this reverence for Lumen. Even though she hates her aunt, they did bond over this thing, and it is different than what she had with her mom. And then you also kind of feel what she might have been like as a teenage girl and this early love affair, and then how instrumental she's been with the severance process. How she really feels like she's serving Kier. But because this organization, like religions or a lot of organizations, when you create something, it's owned by the organization. And in religions, it's pretty unseemly to take credit for things, because the credit goes to the spiritual leader or so she's always had to kind of muffle her discoveries and give it over to Lumen. And yet she always had her own agenda and what she thought was best for Lumen and best for Kier. And so she's been rogue the whole time, really.
I want to talk about that, that scene inside the house. There's a lot of sadness, and there's also anger in that scene, towards her aunt, and maybe just towards the whole situation. How did you channel those two emotions, sadness and anger, in such an important scene for Cobel's character development?
I mean, I had a lot of empathy for her, I think, and I understood what that is. Even just the whole place, the landscape is so much what Cobel is, this kind of cold, discerning. What is she like? She's very much like those icebergs in that cold place. And how do you survive in this cold place? And what's really going on underneath? I think she had this real longing for her mom and that warmth and that connection that got taken from her by being raised at this Egan school.
I didn't even get to say goodbye.
And then her mom getting sick, and her mom and her aunt having this conflict about how they felt about, the Egans and Lumen and all of that. She didn't get to say goodbye to her mom. She didn't get a closure. She didn't get so many things in that relationship, that fundamental bonding, warm things that you get from a mom she never got, and she didn't get it in her death either. And then that anger with her aunt. This is very important. This is a moment where she truly is breaking away in some kind of a way that she never has within her interior life, by challenging her aunt. She's been put in this weird position by Lumen that she never really knew. She was raising Milchek up, to be upper management along with her in the same way she was raised up, which is, in a way, this kind of world where upper management would treat each other, the underlings, like a drill sergeant or something. They weren't touchy-feely. There was no warm, touchy-feely thing like that. It's like trial by fire. We're going to razz you. We're going to give you a hard time. We're going to make it difficult for you. And that's how you work your way up the system. But then he usurped her. And then they're ignoring all of her gifts and then also her ideas and stripping power back away from her all the time. And she's really just at a breaking point here. She's not being seen for who she is or the gifts that she has. They're taking her for granted.
Is the board even there?
It's weird because as an actor, so much of my career has been about emoting something. Mm-hmm. To not emote, it's like to disemote. It's like a really weird thing. So it was really through direction from Ben a lot. Uh-huh. We were trying to find the tone too, the first season. So there were things that were bigger and smaller and we were experimenting a bit, but he was definitely pushing to this kind of more interior way that I wasn't sure how it was going to work. But it's interesting, actually, to play someone who really holds so much of their cards so close to the vest. And I think it makes a lot of sense.
Was there a particular moment or scene where Ben's direction helped you unlock something specific with Cobel?
I mean, honestly, if I look back, like all the scenes, really, all of them, he's very specific and he's understood this show, him and Dan, in a way inside that I didn't really quite understand. You know, I really had to turn to them a lot throughout this process. And then I think more and more, Adam also has asked some really important questions for the audience too. How much do you want to clarify? Like, this is very the opposite of a lot of traditional TV. I mean, I did Medium for many years, where in an hour episode, they're going to show you something, and then they're going to reiterate it the whole second part because people tune in after 30 minutes. You have to bring them all up to speed and then wrap it all up. And so you don't want the audience confused and you want to explain everything. Now you're over-explaining. You're explaining again.
Record your response and step outside.
Where this show is like, no, don't explain anything. And there's moments where Adam's like, I think that's too obtuse here. What's going on here? We need to give them a little bit more. Or he'll say, like, now we're giving too much.
Well, with it being such a different show, what was so different about maybe the filming experience or on set that's different compared to the other shows that makes Severance so unique?
The tone, again, is different. But also just kind of people don't really spend that much money on shows anymore. Like, the props are incredible. Just the layers of detail are kind of mind-boggling. Everybody is just really showing up with their EM. It's not like, hey, can we shoot this episode in 7 days? What if we shave off another day? Where it feels like that is the priority for the people making it. Instead of let's make something great. That this is always being led by quality, and that really feels different.
Who on set made you laugh the most or kind of helped keep things light in such a dark and mysterious show?
I'm going to say Ben makes me laugh a lot.
Who is always the earliest to set?
The drivers and and then also the wardrobe department's got to get there early and get everything going on. So makeup department's got to get in and set up. So we are not the first people there.
What was your favorite moment on an off day from filming?
Sleeping. I get really nervous, so then I can't sleep before, and then I shoot a scene, then I ruminate on why did I do this or that, and then I'm trying to cram lines the night before again, and then I can't sleep because I'm worried about the scene the next day.
Have you kept any props so far?
Ben gave me like one of those little rotating cubes with Harmony's face in it.
What's the weirdest or most random thing that happened during filming?
COVID happened during filming. The first season, we're in this weird show where nobody knows where they stand with anybody, and we're all wearing masks, and we can't tell if anyone's smiling or laughing or even what our crew looks like, really. And they're all behind plastic things, too. So we were so detached from each other while we're getting lost in these hallways. And it just was like this weird, never-ending dystopian horror show.
What was your go-to snack at craft services?
I don't know, but I always like a surprise little, cheese and crackers, like a little kid's cheese and crackers.
Like the Ritz?
Yeah, like when you get that weird little oh, that's weird, you got cheese and crackers.
What is one thing that you always bring to set with you?
My very heavy purse. And you can find it anywhere on the set. Like, I've used it as a sound, like when we need a sandbag, like, here, use my purse. Like, my purse is heavy.
Do you just keep everything in there?
I find so much weird stuff in my purse. It's like, really, it's a weapon.